Well, hello Booktube. Welcome back to the History Shelf. I am your host, Peg, and today I'm bumping up my order of videos because I want you guys to see some of the awesome pickups I got from an ongoing Princeton University Press sale. They just recently extended their sale. It was supposed to end yesterday, but they've extended it to the 21st, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to show you guys what I got because it just arrived a couple days ago. And if something there tickles your fancy, they're super cheap right now. I will put the link below to Princeton University Press. Also, I kind of wanted to hop on the bandwagon. My friend John David, fellow booktuber, recently talked about this sale. And I think he's shown has he shown his books yet? John, I'm so sorry, I don't know. I have been busy writing for the last how many odd days. So I'm just getting a break now to make some videos again. Johnny Keene has shown his books that he's gotten from the sale, and I really enjoyed that video. So I'm going to link their channels below so you can go to their channels, subscribe. They are great booktubers who read serious books, and I think you'll enjoy their content. Again, I'll link the Princeton link below. You'll see on their website, it's 75% off of about 1,500 titles. So I've got the box right here. I'm doing this video, I'm sitting on the floor with my new camera. I can move around. I'm still going on about that. You know, I just can't. Technology. So yeah, I got a box full of books, and guess what? I ordered 2 more. Right at the deadline for the sale I thought was ending the 14th. I was like, there's 2 more I want. So I've got 2 more Princeton University Press books coming. But for right now, I'm going to show you this box. I think I have 12 here. So we've got a lot to go through. Let's see, which one should I start with first? You know what? I'm going to start with a series of books. Well, they're put out by an imprint of Princeton University Press, and they're called Zone books. I have a couple already. And it's kind of like a variety of history, anthropology, that kind of stuff. So this really appealed to me. Plus the fact that I recently read a book, last year, in the fall, about Mexican revolutionaries, and so I recognized this name, and I wanted to read more and to, you know, just get more of a feel for this. Like I said, I've been getting into South American or Mexican history more, so I saw this, and it's a hardcover. It's dirt cheap right now at Princeton University Press. Okay, so we've got, what do we have here? It's called The Return of Comrade Ricardo Flores Magón by Claudio Lomnitz. You can see that here. Trying to make sure it's a beautiful hardcover. As you can see, the imprint is Zone Books. So what is this one about? I will read it to you real quick. In this long-awaited study, Claudio Lomnitz tells an unprecedented story about the experience and ideology of American and Mexican revolutionary collaborators of the Mexican anarchist Ricardo Flores Magón. Based on extensive research in American and Mexican archives, Lomnitz explores the rich, complicated, and virtually unknown lives of Magón and his comrades devoted to the Mexican cause. This anthropological history of anarchy, cooperation, and betrayal seeks to capture the experience and meaning of these dedicated militants who themselves struggled to understand their role and place at the margins of the Mexican Revolution. For them, the revolution was untranslatable, a pure but deaf subversion. For Lomnitz, their experiences reveal the meaning of this phrase. So the book, The Return of Comrade Ricardo Flores Magón, I'm not pronouncing that correctly, tracks the lives of John Kenneth Turner, Ethel Duffy, Elizabeth Trowbridge, Ricardo Flores Magón, and Lazaro Gutierrez de Lara, among others, to illuminate the reciprocal relationship between personal and collective ideology and action. This book is an epic and tragic tale, never before told, about camaraderie and disillusionment in the first transnational grassroots political movement to span the U.S.-Mexico border. The book will revise how we think about not only the Mexican Revolution, but also revolutionary action and passion. So Woo! I think this book was only like for hardcover. I think it was like, oh, do I have the receipt? Maybe I can tell you. No, it doesn't say in the shipping, but, or does it? No, but I think it was probably like $7 or $8. And it's a beautiful, thick book, as you can see. There we go. Okay. It's snowing here in Denver. Still got a month of winter left. We're getting about 3 inches today. We've got, it's just, these are beautifully laid out. Each chapter's got like a black and white photo. So yeah, like I said, I did a book review of was it called Bad Mexicans? I think that book was also on a list to receive a book prize. I was hoping it would win, but it didn't. But that was written by Kelly Little Hernandez, so that one was really good, and it mentions a lot about that and this guy here, Ricardo Flores Magón. So, picked that up from Zone Books via Princeton University Press. So the next book from the Zone Books they sell here, I wanted to get this at the last sale, and I didn't, but now I've got it. This is called The Great Lakes of Africa, 2,000 Years of History, by Jean-Pierre Chrétien, translated by Scott Strauss. Get you to see that. It's a pretty thick book. Beautiful illustration on the front. Wow. Interesting. The end papers are just black. I don't know if they're trying to make a statement here or... Look at that. Crazy, huh? Though the genocide of 1994 catapulted Rwanda onto the international stage, English language historical accounts of the Great Lakes region of Eastern Africa are still scarce, drawing on a wide range of sources: colonial archives, oral tradition, archaeological discoveries, studies in anthropology and linguistics, and his 30 years of scholarship. Jean-Pierre Chrétien offers a major synthesis of the history of the region, which encompasses Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda, Eastern Congo, and Western Tanzania, a region still plagued by extremely violent wars. This new translation brings the work of a leading French historian on the region to an English-speaking audience for the first time. I thought that was interesting. The Great Lakes of Africa, 2,000 Years of History, first retraces the human settlement and the formation of kingdoms around the sources of the Nile, which were discovered by European explorers around 1860. Chrétien then describes these kingdoms as complex social and political organization, and analyzes how the colonizers, German, British, and Belgian, not only transformed and exploited the existing power structures, but also projected their own racial categories onto them. Finally, the author shows how the independent states of the post-colonial era, in particular Rwanda, Burundi, and Uganda, have been trapped by their colonial and pre-colonial legacies, and especially by the racial rewriting of the latter by the former. Today, argues Chrétien, the Great Lakes of Africa is a crucial region for historical research, not only because its history is particularly fascinating, but also because the tragedies of its present are very much a function of the political manipulations of the past. So it's a pretty big book, but I've always, again, there's hardly any area of African history that I'm not interested in. So, yeah, this looks like to be a good read, and it's super cheap at the sale today, until the 21st. Yeah, so just check out these books. I don't know if I'll have time to like type up all the names of the books in the description box below, but if you just want to go to the site, Princeton site, and just kind of have my video on in the background, you can pause and say, okay, you know, to find the book, if you find a book here you want to buy. Anyway. The next Zone book is called Culture and Practice Selected Essays by Marshall Salins. You don't need to focus your camera. It's just it's like it's artwork that's just kind of, there you go. It's a big book. So Culture and Practice collects both the seminal and the more obscure academic and political writings of the anthropologist Marshall Salins from the 1960s through the 1990s. More than a compilation, this book unfolds as an intellectual autobiography. Salins' reportage and reflections on the anti-war movement in 1964 and 65 mark his intellectual development from earlier general studies of culture, economy, and human nature to the more historical and globally aware works on indigenous peoples, especially Pacific Islanders. Throughout these essays, Salins also engages the cultural cultural specificity of the West, developing a critical account of the distinctive ways we act in and understand the world. It includes a play review of Robert Ardrey's Sociobiology, essays on native consumption patterns of food and clothes in America and the West, explorations of how 2,000 years of Western cosmology have affected our understanding of others, and ethno-historical accounts of how cultural orders of Europeans and Pacific Islanders structured the historical experiences of both. It's a mouthful. Throughout this range of scholarly inquiries and critical commentaries, Salins offers his own way of thinking about the anthropological project. All right, so if you get the drift. I've always been intrigued by anthropology. I don't read it all the time, but this kind of jumped out at me, and I thought, why not, for the price of it? Again, seriously marked down. Beautiful brand new book. Trade paperback. Why not? Okay. You know, I feel like it's been a while since I've made my last video, so I feel like I'm out of practice already. In fact, I just finished writing a review not long ago, just the other day, of a book on European discovery and indigenous peoples' responses, and whoa, that was mentally draining to write that. It's just, there's a lot to try to analyze, and whew, I get a little brain dead sometimes. So pardon me if my my delivery is not up to snuff. The next Princeton book that I got, I have been meaning to get this. I wanted to get it in hardcover. It's never been marked down, but they've just released it in softcover, and it was really cheap. So I thought, you know what, this time around I'll pass up the hardcover. But I got Chaucer, A European Life. So this is the beautiful new paperback of it, and this is by Marion Turner. You got that. So Geoffrey Chaucer, it's all about Chaucer. What do you want me to say? So Chaucer is often called the father of English literature, but this, and I've never read him, if you can believe that, so maybe reading this I might read Chaucer. Tell you what, I feel like I should know these things. Sometimes I like to go to the biography first and just kind of try to back my way into the literature. Is often called the father of English literature, but this acclaimed biography reveals him as a great European writer and thinker, uncovering important new information about Chaucer's travels, private life, and the circulation of his writings. Marion Turner reconstructs in unprecedented detail the cosmopolitan world of Chaucer's adventurous life, focusing on the places and spaces that fired his imagination. From the wharves of London to the frescoed chapels of Florence, the book recounts Chaucer's experiences as a prisoner of war in France, as a father visiting his daughter's nunnery, as a member of a chaotic parliament, and as a diplomat in Milan. At the same time, the book offers a comprehensive exploration of Chaucer's writings. That'll be helpful for me. The result is a landmark biography and a fresh account of the extraordinary story of how a wine merchant's son became the poet of the Canterbury Tales. So yeah, I need to read the Canterbury Tales. I'm embarrassed to say I have not. I just remember when my sister read it and she goes, it was boring as hell. I think she had to read it for class or something. But you know, give it a go. I'm just going to adjust the camera a bit. Re-centered. Okay. So again, you see anything here, write it down, go to the Princeton website and get it now before the 21st, so that's next Tuesday. Get your order in by Monday night at midnight, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, I got another Zone book here, I didn't even realize. I got 4 awesome Zone books. The other one I have downstairs, I think, is on Mexican history. They're a beautiful, like, sturdy size, you know what I mean? The soft covers are sturdy size. I really like the look and feel of these books. You know, I like the content too, you know, the topics, but aesthetics, come on, we like it when it comes to books. So the next one I got is called A Society Without Fathers or Husbands, The Na of China. This is by, I think, Ka Hua, or Hui, Ka Hui. It's translated by Asti Hustvedt. So look at this cover here. I think this is another work of anthropology. I'd never heard of this society, and it's intriguing as hell. Yeah, fascinating. Okay, the Na of China. Farmers in the Himalayan region live without the institution of marriage. Na brothers and sisters live together their entire lives, cooking together and raising the women's children. Since, as in other societies, the Na respect the incest prohibition, they practice a system of furtive or conspicuous night visits during which a man goes to a woman's home. In addition to the long periods of time spent with the Na, Ka Hui has analyzed numerous historical Chinese documents. He presents us with a lucid, fascinating monograph that shows how a society can function without fathers or husbands. In light of Na ethnography, he leads the reader toward a new reflection on what marriage and family are, along the objects of circular reasoning and sociological analyses. Since the inception of humankind's interest in the diversity of their cultures, this is the first time an anthropologist has encountered a society whose structure differs totally from that of the rest of the world. This discovery is likely to provoke fundamental changes in the way we look at social life and human behavior. Now, I haven't seen society changing. Well, scratch that. Duh, yes I have. So I guess the sexes don't exist anymore. Newsflash. Okay. But anyway, yeah, but says it to provoke fundamental changes in how we look at social life and human behavior. So this book was written, let's see, 2001. Nope, wait. It was originally published in France in 1997. So, yeah. But, yeah. No pictures or anything here. Not that it, need pictures, but it's got some charts on just lineage and how families are constructed, and so, but it sounds fascinating, does it not? A Society Without Fathers or Husbands, the Na China. Okay. 17 minutes. Moving on. All right. What else is going to appeal to you guys here? Oh, I got another zone book. I forgot how many I bought. I've got 5 zone books now with this one. This is called, I got more anthropology. This is called Chronicle of the Guayaki Indians by Pierre Clastres. Translation and foreword by a name many of you fiction and literature lovers out there will probably recognize, Paul Auster. So this is this cover, Chronicle of the Guayaki Indians by Pierre Clastres. Not as big as the other ones. So this is Pierre Clastres' account of his 1963-64 encounter with the small Paraguayan tribe, a precise and detailed recording of the history, ritual, myths, and culture of this remarkably unique and now vanished people. Determined not to let the slightest detail escape him or to leave unanswered the many questions prompted by his personal experiences, Clastres follows the Guayakis in their everyday lives, now available for the first time in a stunningly beautiful translation by Paul Auster. By Paul Auster. Chronicle of the Guayaki Indians radically alters not only the Western academic conventions in which other cultures are thought, but also the discipline of political anthropology itself. Ooh, we do have some pictures in here. So yeah, I guess they're saying these people are no longer, they're vanished. Let's, trying to find you a really, oh, nope, little boy there. Oh, a little bit of nudity, okay. Yeah, got some nudity in here now, okay. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay, so this sounds fascinating. I'm always liking to learn about new cultures, and even this vanished one, I'd like to know about it. So, Zone Books, another great one from Zone Books. All right, I think we're moving away from the zone books and the anthropology angle. So let's get into straight... I am lying to you. I have another zone book here. Okay, I've got 6 zone books. Now this is the final one. Oh, but now we're moving to Greece. Okay, so this is called The Divided City, On Memory and Forgetting in Ancient Athens by Nicole Leroux. Again, another French writer. Translated by Corinne Pash with Jeff Fort. All right. On Memory and Forgetting in Ancient Athens. So what is this zone book on? Athens, 403 BCE. The end of the bloody oligarchic dictatorship of the 30. The Democrats returned to the city victorious. Renouncing vengeance in an act of amnesia, citizens call for, if not invent, amnesty. They agree to forget the unforgettable, the past misfortunes of civil strife, stasis. More precisely, what must be denied is that stasis, simultaneously partisanship, faction, and sedition, is at the heart of Greek politics. This crucial moment of Athenian political history, Nicole Leroux argues in The Divided City, must be interpreted as constitutive of, not a threat to, politics and political life. Divided from within and against itself, the city is formed by that which it refuses. Conflict, the calamity of civil war, is the other dark side of the beautiful, unitary city of Athens. Beneath the Greek city, erected in totality and ideality, Leroux rediscovers the discord affecting the entire city, the stasis manifesting the fundamental conflictual ambivalence of the civic order. I just wonder sometimes with these academic dust jackets, does everything have to be so damn uberly, like just write clearly. The city by definition is doomed to divide itself in two. Okay, so continuing a criticism of Athenian ideology begun most notably in her path-breaking study, The Invention of Athens, Leroux here investigates the myth of reconciliation politics that seeks to keep dissension at a distance from the city and from politics. To rethink the Athenian politics of forgetting, of stasis, Leroux adopts a complex historical approach to the city. Nah, I bet it is complex. Compensating for the more limited anthropological perspective, Leroux exposes the city to that which it rejects in ideological discourse. For example, thank goodness, the harmonious bond of fraternal solidarity among citizens. Okay, I think when I read the description, I just love anything about Greece and ancient Greece and, of course, Athens. So we're gonna give this one a go, The Forgotten City. Now, I promise this is the last zone book, but I got 6 of these, and they're just gorgeous. Look at these. These look really great. Gonna learn a lot about anthropology, guys. All right, so on the topic of Athens, let's get a more approachable book, so you're running away frightened. And this is a straight up Princeton University Press publication. This is The Rise and Fall of Classical Greece by Josiah Ober. It's a beautiful cover. So I picked this one up. Lord Byron described Greece as great, fallen, and immortal, a characterization more apt than he knew. Through most of its long history, Greece was poor. But in the classical era, Greece was densely populated and highly urbanized. Middle-class spending drove sustained economic growth, and classical wealth produced a stunning cultural efflorescence. Why did Greece reach such heights in the classical period, and why only then? And how, after the Greek miracle had endured for centuries, did the Macedonians defeat the Greeks, seemingly bringing an end to their glory? Drawing on a massive body of data and employing novel approaches to evidence, Josiah Ober offers a major new history of classical Greece and an unprecedented account of its rise and fall. Ober argues that Greece's rise was no miracle, but rather the result of political breakthroughs and economic development. All right. So this one reads like it's going to be easier to understand. So, check that one out. Let's see. Ooh. All right, we're going to move from that to... Okay, this is kind of biography of a thing. This is part of their Princeton's series called Lives of Great Religious Books, and a ton of these are on sale right now. I almost bought one on the Talmud and the Jefferson Bible. I might change my mind and get a couple more before the sale ends next Monday, February 21st. I say Monday because you need to order by midnight on Monday. I think maybe it's good through Tuesday the 21st. Either way, I picked up the Dead Sea Scrolls, a biography by John J. Collins. So as you can see, lives of great religious books. I don't think I need to read too much into this, but it's about the Dead Sea Scrolls, and I know I'm already at 25 minutes. I got a few more books, but I just wanted to learn more about the finding of them, and I've heard so much about them. Look how the pages are very they got very wide margins, so you can probably read this fairly quickly. I think all of these books have the wider margins, so. But I picked up the Dead Sea Scrolls. I think this one was only like, I think these paperback ones are at like, gosh, $5 maybe? Might even be just $1 less. Next book I picked up is called Erasmus Man of Letters, The Construction of Charisma in Print by Lisa Jardine, and it's got a new preface by the author. I like religious history, I like theology. I know Erasmus and Martin Luther have a very vigorous debate and dialogue back in their time, and I'm just curious to read more about Erasmus. I have a lot of books. I've read a lot of books about Martin Luther. I'd like to learn more about Erasmus. So what does this say here? The name Erasmus of Rotterdam conjures up a golden age of scholarly integrity and the disinterested pursuit of knowledge, when learning could command public admiration without the need for authorial self-promotion. Lisa Jardine, however, shows that Erasmus self-consciously created his own reputation as the central figure of the European intellectual world. Erasmus himself, the historical as opposed to the figural individual, was a brilliant, maverick innovator who achieved little formal academic recognition in his own lifetime. What Jardine offers here is not only a fascinating study of Erasmus, but also a bold account of a key moment in Western history, a time when it first became possible to believe in the existence of something that could be designated European thought. So, that just sounded very appealing to me. I want to check it out, learn a little bit more about the man and the period. That's very fecund intellectual atmosphere of that time. Erasmus, Man of Letters. Okay, so this box is empty now, but again, I have 2 more books coming, and I have 2 more books to show you here. So we're doing pretty good on time. But let's go back to this one. Okay, this one is called Communism Shadow, and you know how I'm always intrigued by just studying communism, Soviet Union, Russia. It's just one of my passions. So Communism Shadow, Historical Legacies and Contemporary Political Attitudes by Grigor Popelakis and Joshua A. Tucker. Look at that cover. Okay, so it has long been assumed, this falls under the umbrella of political science and comparative politics, so it has long been assumed that the historical legacy of Soviet communism would have an important effect on post-communist states. However, prior research has focused primarily on the institutional legacy of communism. So this book instead turns the focus to the individuals who inhabit post-communist countries, presenting a rigorous assessment of the legacy of communism on political attitudes. Post-communist citizens hold political, economic, and social opinions that consistently differ from individuals in other countries. Grigor Popelakis and Joshua Tucker introduced 2 distinct frameworks to explain these differences, the first of which focuses on the effects of living in a post-communist country, and the second on living through communism. Drawing on large-scale research encompassing post-communist states and other countries around the globe, the authors demonstrate that living through communism has a clear, consistent influence on why citizens in post-communist countries are, on average, less supportive of democracy and markets and more supportive of state-provided social welfare. The longer citizens have lived through communism, especially as adults, the greater their support for beliefs associated with communist ideology, the one exception being opinions regarding gender equality. A thorough and nuanced examination of communist legacies' lasting influence on public opinion, Communism Shadow highlights the ways in which political beliefs can outlast institutional regimes. So, got that at a huge markdown, very happy about that. Oh, and then this last book actually will help fill out a, if you see these, it'll fill out a collection I have on Isaiah Berlin. So we're gonna fly up here, and you're gonna see, do you see the, a series of colorful books on the end there? Yeah, those paperbacks. Let's get you back down here to me. Hi. Don't look in the back. I still have stuff to clean up back there. This was one of Isaiah Berlin's, the Princeton University Press has several of his works in different volumes. And I think I have, what? Ooh. I've got 4 right now, and this is one I don't have, so I was happy to get it. This is The Sense of Reality, Studies and Ideas and Their History. With a foreword by Timothy Snyder, who I believe was the author of Bloodlands. This is a new edition. It's edited by Henry Hardy. I think they have a couple of these versions on sale as part of the 1,500 books that are on sale right now for 75% off at Princeton. So if you really are into Isaiah Berlin, don't miss this opportunity. So let's take a look here. The Sense of Reality was the last new collection of essays published by Isaiah Berlin in his lifetime. All informed by Berlin's lifelong fascination with the history of ideas, these engaging studies range widely. The subjects explored include realism in history, judgment in politics, the history of socialism, the nature and impact of Marxism, the radical cultural revolution instigated by the Romantics, Russian notions of artistic commitment, and the origins and practice of nationalism. The title essay, taking its cue from the impossibility of recreating a bygone epic, is a superb centerpiece. Now with a new foreword by Timothy Snyder and a new appendix comprising a previously unpublished essay on the great Russian critic Vissarion Belinsky and a previously uncollected lecture on utopianism, woo! Bonus. The Sense of Reality is a rich and illuminating collection from one of the most seductive writers and thinkers of the 20th century. So this one's going to be super good. Oh, he hits all those notes that I love. Marxism, socialism, philosophy, sense of reality, romantic revolution. It's just deep, meaty stuff. And I've got extra bonuses in here. So it's a new edition. I would grab this one, you guys. I think this is like $4.99 right now. I kid you not, some of these paperbacks are just so cheap. Trust me, I don't get a money commission from Princeton at all. I just love their books. I've read and I've reviewed a couple, and I buy a lot of them. I just really love supporting University Press, books and the work that they do. So support your local university press today. But seriously, show some love for all these. Look at these. Oh, what a workout. That's just some of them. And I've got 2 more coming. If you want me to surprise you, I guess then you'll have to wait. Or I could blow the surprise right now and tell you. Close your ears if you want to be surprised. But I've been wanting to get this big hardcover study on the German industrial family, the Krupps. It's called Krupp. And it's basically a study about the Krupp industry and what they did, and especially their collaboration with the Hitler and the Nazis in World War II. So I've got a big biography on Krupp, and then a book on Einstein and the German world that he moved in. So I'm really looking forward to those 2 as well. So, I'm really anxious to hear if you guys found anything here you really want. I would love to know if you've decided to buy a couple or visit the sale site. Again, Princeton University Press does a big sale like this about once a year. You just never know what month. And this time they're kind of tying it in with Valentine's Day, you know, the love of history, love of books sale. So show your love of books. Go check out the sale. You can filter it, your search, by tons of different subjects. So if it's not history, you can look up stuff under literature, economics, politics, religion. Usually I browse through just about every category, and that's how I found a lot of these. But so with that, guys, I just wanted to get this video up and out to you before the sale ends so that I'm not doing it after the fact when you can't do anything about it. And I was like, Peg, that makes no sense. You need to do this now. So I do have other things to show you, new mail that have come in, new books from publishers. So it's ongoing here at the History Shelf. The circulation is just off the charts lately. But I'm always happy to join you guys and to hear from you. And I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying safe out there. Keep your eyes on the skies. Just never know what's going to happen next. But until next time, Booktube, thanks for joining me. Have a good one. I look forward to hearing your comments or seeing your comments below. Take care.